Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I believe we are all born with an ambition. It takes an ambition for a baby to walk, crawl, or talk. Throughout our life, we set up goals to achieve. Some may be educational, some personal, some professional. Over the years, you look back and realize some of those goals never come through. Some become dreams, some forgotten dreams. Maybe because of lack of resource, lack of time, maybe, or lack of opportunity. I believe most of us know where we are and where we need to go. Not all of us is willing to take that journey to where you need to go. But I'm here to tell you this. Regardless of who you are or what you may be facing, you can do anything you set your mind to. So let me tell you a story about a young man who faced challenges. When all odds was against him. I was born in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, formerly known as Zaire, a French-speaking country torn by decades of civil and political unrest, poverty, corruption, although it has tremendous resources. Beyond high school level, the education system was very poor. So it was customary for parents who had the means to send their high school grad overseas for a better education. My father, he was a colonel in the Congolese military. He died. I was in high school. So my mom had to carry on the tradition. But 18 siblings, this is an extremely difficult task for a stay-at-home mom. I'm sure you can appreciate that. Over a couple of years, I see our living condition drastically went down from 3 meals a day to 1 meal a day. And I remember walking sometime miles from school, going to my father's tomb. I would stay there crying for hours before going home. Then in 1996, we had a break. A friend of mine applied for, on my behalf, applied for the U.S. Diversity Lottery Visa. This is an immigration program where allows citizens from other nations to come to the United States with a legal status, legal residence, provided they meet those requirements such as having a high school diploma at a minimum or being in good health. I was selected. In November 1996, I left Congo. I arrived in the United States with great expectation from my friends, siblings, and mom. I was found lost. I found myself lost in this country I only know little about. I was broken. I was sad. I feel lonely. But I knew the journey I was about to take would be faced with challenges and obstacles to meet my goals and to help my family. Challenges that I would never imagine one day I would stand up and talk about it, that I overcome. I didn't have money to go to college. I did not speak English. I didn't have any talent, any special skills. So the only job that I could acquire at that time was the one that gets like a $4 to $5 an hour. And I quickly realized that with this pace, it was going to be extremely difficult to reach my goal. Then I learned that the military can pay for college. I only need to pass the military entrance exam, the ASVAB. So I went to my job and requested a part-time schedule. I had enough time now available. I'll go to the library and study for the ASVAB. I set up a schedule. Monday to Wednesday, I'll study English. And the rest of the week, I'll study math and science. I made the library my college. I'll go every single day the library was open. And I knew having a goal without a deadline is as good as a dream. So I set a goal. I set a goal to enlist in the military within 6 months. And the day I will graduate from my college library will be the day I will pass my ASVAB. My greatest challenge at the time was English. So on my first paycheck, I bought me a French-English dictionary. I carried a dictionary with me everywhere I went. And outside the library, there was a little park. A lot of homeless used to come and hang out. I needed to practice my oral communication and my listening. And they are the only one who had time for me. And I spent time talking to those homeless, practicing with them. In a way, they become like my tutor. In an evening, I would listen to the Western country music. I thought the lyric was a little bit easy, understand? And guys just come from Africa, right? Okay? I thought the lyric was easy. Now it's time to choose the branch of service. So I went to the recruiter building. I saw the Navy, the Army, the Marines, and I didn't know which one to pick. Then I saw it right there at the door, hem high. I knew the Air Force was talking to me. So I contacted the recruiter. I test and pass my ASVAB. I enlisted in the Air Force. A college library I paid off. So in December 1997, I was sent to basic training, Lackland Air Force Base. Once again, I found myself lost outside my comfort zone. I thought I made some improvement with my English, talking to my friend, the homeless, until I was put in a mix of young men and women from all corners of the country with different accents. I thought I was done. So, first, they took my French-English dictionary from me. I was not allowed to keep it with me. And I didn't have any translator. I wish I had one. I only have one thing left for my defense, was my African smile. For some of you have seen the movie Coming to America with Eddie Murphy, right? This is a smile where you show your teeth, your gum, and you nag as an agreement, like this. I feel sorry about myself sometimes. So one day there was this young airman come to me and asked if I'd seen the broom. I didn't know what the broom was. I don't have my dictionary. So what do? I gave him the African smile. So he said, "Where is he?" I look at him again. I gave him another smile. That poor boy looked confused and left. A couple of minutes later, he came to me and he tapped me on the shoulder. He didn't know who I was. Probably he didn't know that he only asked me the question. Maybe for another question. As I was turning slowly to give him my awesome African smile, he said, "Hey, you again, never mind," and walked away. I knew that the challenge I was facing was not just from the outside, but also inside. I had the feeling that everybody there was better than me. And sometimes I think I thought to myself, it's just a matter of time before someone realized that I do not belong here. And every day that has passed by in basic training was a survival for me. It was a day that I have to survive. And the day I wore this uniform, I was in tears. Tears that I have accomplished something enormous. A young man from Africa wearing this uniform in the greatest country in the world. And I said to myself, today, if I get kicked out, it's okay. I'll let my family know, I will let my friend know that I was a member of the greatest military there is. I have the uniform and an MTAP to prove it, in case you wonder. Needless to say, I graduated basic training, and I went on graduating also tech school. Not because I was the brightest, no. Not because I was the fittest, no. Because there's so much to lose. And failure was not an option. I was airman basic when I went to my first duty station at the Outfit Air Force Base. The first year, I was not allowed to take any college classes until I completed my career development courses, the CDCs. So I used my free up time, like weekends, and also after work to go to the local library, study for the college level examination program, CLEP. I CLEP 29 credits and completed the CDC 3 months before they were due. I thought it was a good start. So I enrolled in a local community college, but obtaining an engineering degree while active duty is very, very difficult. With PCS, we deploy, we change the station. Sometimes the school that you go to doesn't have that program. So I applied for the Reserve Officer Training School twice, and I was denied twice. I didn't want it to discourage me, so I pressed on with my classes. Eventually, I obtained my Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering. I was 10 years in the service. I started as MN Basic. I met technical surgeon at 7 years mark. And at the 10 years mark, I applied for the officer training school. I was selected and commissioned as a second lieutenant. A couple years later, I was offered with an opportunity to go to AFIT for my advanced degree at the Air Force Institute of Technology. A colleague of mine approached and said, "Hey, Patrick, I advise you against it. Don't go to AFIT." I said, "Why?" AFIT is a very difficult program. Should you fail, you jeopardize your career. He was right. But this young airman didn't know me. He didn't know me very well. See, I was not afraid to fail. No. I've been through a lot. I gained strength and courage. But what I was afraid was not to try. So I tried. And I was selected. And I completed that program. And I got my master in environmental engineering. Understand that it takes more than courage, persistence, and motivation to reach your goal. There's a team of family, friend, supervisor, commander, wingman who provide support, environment for success, and opportunity. For that, for all of you, I say thank you. So I have resolved to give back. I talk to the airmen, I motivate them to set their goal very high and to face the challenges. I also use my culture and language skill to help in several missions in Africa, in the United States, and some other parts, like in Haiti with the earthquake. Recently, in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, when I was able to avert an international incident between our military forces, the US, and the Congolese military forces because of my background. I understand the military over there. I also use my technical skill as an environmental engineer. While I was stationed while I was assigned to the FRL. I did some research on water decontamination using the UV lights and advanced oxidation method. Later on, I provide recommendations for the potable water system that was used in several locations, in deployed locations in Africa. America, we have so much, an overflow of resources, and an abundance of untapped potential. I was able to touch a small portion of it, and that made me who I am today, a major in the United States Air Force that proudly wear this uniform. Some of us that are born here sometimes do not see or seize those opportunities. And the biggest mistake that we can do as an individual, as an organization, and as a country is to be complacent. Is to stop striving for those very things that make this country the greatest nation in the world. I assure you, the right that was given to me to stand here before you was not an easy one. I had to try harder. I had to dig deeper. I have to pray a little bit more often than my peers. Here I stand before you and telling you again, regardless of who you are or what you may be facing, with just a little bit of faith, a handful of persistence, and a bucket of ambition, and a courage to take the first step. There's no ocean you cannot conquer. No mountain you cannot move. No height you cannot reach. So FRL, let's aim higher. Thank you.